Hey, Doodlebud here. We're looking at the pen so nice. I bought it twice. This is the Majohn A1. I got the first one with the clip on it. Now they copied the capless. Now there's a capless, clipless. So they got rid of the clip, put on a roll stop. That is super clever. Pilot never did that. People said, oh, I love that pen, except for that damn clip gets in the way when how I grip the pen, so they never get it. But Majohn came out and said, well, Pilot's not going to get rid of it. We will. So I picked this one up. I never do this. I never buy duplicate pens. I've done it once with the TWSBI Ecos when I first got started, but I've never done it since. And this pen is so good. I bought it again. I want to try the clipless, capless pen, see how it is. And this is a pretty groovy little color. I want to get an original, like a proper Pilot vanishing point. And they have a color very similar to this. So I thought, let's just try it anyways. I thought this pen was quite impressive. This one's even better. The build on this one is even better. And the nib is crazy. I have to do a comparison. I'm going to put the same inks in them because it just seems this thing's over the top good. I thought this was nice, but this is even better. So we're going to roll through. There's a full in-depth review on this one here, so I'll make it a little bit quicker, but I'll show you what I found that's even nicer on this pen. And for all you wondering about a vanishing point, if it didn't have a clip, you can learn a few things here, and maybe this will be for you. These pens here a little bit side by side, dimensionally, everything is the same on that. One little difference here, so on this little band, it's a little tougher to see. This is the matte black version. You could see the little band there. It looks like it's no entry signs. Here, it looks, sort of like gears, right? And I'm actually wondering if that's how that was done, if that was rolled in, and that's sort of the pattern, and almost like one side of a knurling tool that's on there. That's potentially how they put that on there. But that's kind of the only main thing, obviously. Then you got a little roll stop here versus the clip. This has like a lacquer coating to the body. And I have to tell you, man, this paint job, if we could focus, oh, there we go, don't move, is so good. This is a really, really good job. They prep the material well. I don't see any issues with the paint job. This one was okay. That flat black, little orange peely going on, and I found some sort of defects, some little chip marks and just defects in there that came like that from the factory, which I was okay with, because again, for the price point, you can only do so much. And I thought, well, whatever, that's pretty damn good. This one is even better. And I was curious too, if I was debating on the real vanishing point to go with the matte blue, just sort of feeling that, but I was curious how these ones are, if that might be too slick. It's actually, I find, a little bit more grippy. So with the real one, I'll probably end up going with one that's like this, with a painted barrel. And I like this color so much. So this pen has helped me out to with making up my mind and making a decision on the pen I want to get. Another thing I kind of griped about, so you can see here, if I can rotate it, there we go. You can see it's just off a few degrees off to the side, and there's a lot of slop in this. In this one, it's dead nut straight. There's barely any slop. So that could be batch to batch or some of the internal parts. I don't know if there's a difference because the coating thickness is different and maybe it's a little bit more snug. I'm not sure. But yeah, this clicker runs more true. It sounds a little bit quieter as well. Like the click is a little more satisfying. I can't describe it to you over this video, but it just seems a little more solid, not as kind of clanky. So technical terms here. This feels just a little bit looser, a little more sloppy. The clicker on this one feels better. If we pop it off here, you can see the Mooman logo on there. This is a Pilot cartridge. This is a Pilot blue. I picked some up and thought I'd try them out. And of course, because they copied it, everything Pilot fits in here. On this one, they didn't fix that. It still sits up high. So it'd be cool if they change that spring. Maybe I'll see if I can source a spring. So if you want this to sit lower, but still have a good clicky action, maybe I can find one to make a recommendation, because it really should sit in like that. But everything else is the same. Yep. From all the clicking, you do get a little bit of splash going on with the ink there in the nib, but you don't see it because it's all concealed. The dimples on this one, you can see there how it's all assembled. They seem a little bit nicer. The spacing seems a little more even as well. So yeah, the build quality is just up a little more of a tick on this one. And I have to tell you too, like these threads are all good. the nib on this one, it's wider. They're supposed to be both the same size, so maybe there's some variance going on, or just something gets lost in translation depending on the listings. But it is a little bit wider, but it's got a little more wetness to it, and it's so smooth. I saw this and went, wow, this is kind of cool. This is slick. I like this color. I'll probably get the real deal. Inked it up, and it was night and day. This was nice. This is a phenomenal writer. So what I'm going to do is, I have different ink in this right now. I'm going to go clean this out, get the same cartridge, put it in, prime it up, get it, play around with it a bit, come back and do the writing sample comparison just to see how much of a difference there is between nibs, or if it's just the ink is making that much of a difference. So after changing out the ink, I did find they do write a little bit more similar. The nib width is pretty close to the same, but this one that I got here is a little bit more wet. One thing I noticed after I took the pen apart was, if you roll it back, this was not on the cartridge to cover it. So of course the click sensation, if you're clicking just on to the cartridge, which is plastic, it probably does feel a little bit softer. And so that's why it was feeling that way. When I got the pen and inked it up, I was so excited, I forgot to put that cover back on. The pen still worked, but that explains that. The clicker, though, does feel just a little bit better still, and the alignment is still there. So I solved that little mystery. But between the two, the nib width, as we can see here, is pretty close. This probably looks maybe a touch more narrow, and that's just because the other one I have is a little bit more wet. That is the same ink. The color could be a little bit different because I did just flush this out. Maybe there's just a touch of water left. I tried to bleed it as best as I could to pull out just the ink. But yeah, you can see overall pretty darn close as far as nib widths. I'd say they're identical. This one, the ink color is different. It is a little bit more flow, a little bit more wet going on with my other one. But that's almost even more impressive that they are keeping the nib widths bang on. And yeah, you can have a little variance from pen to pen as far as the slit, the tine slit being a touch more wide on one pen versus the other, but the consistency is there. The build quality is there, and I'm super impressed. That's all I got for today. So all you folks out there that have been thinking about a real Pilot vanishing point and can't afford it, these are a great option. Or for those who really like them, but that stupid clip, well, now you got the choice and you got cool colors to go with it. And I have to tell you, this is such a solid performing pen for this price point. Wow, would I ever recommend this to someone? I know they copied the design. Yep. I don't like it either, but at least they delivered. Unlike, how they cheaped out on this one, the X159 by Jinhao, I feel they could have done a little better if when I see pens like this in the market. But anyways, for the price, I think this is a phenomenal pen. I could see why people have been getting a few of them. Writing experience, mechanically, it's put well together. And I got to tell you, I'm loving this pen. So that's all I have for now. Hit subscribe, and that keeps you up to date on all the stuff I'm working on. Got lots more videos coming. We'll have to catch you next time.